Ask not what we all be can do for you. Ask what you can do for we all be.
We is honored to have on the brother known as Brother Andrew, also known around the community as the Bookman. And we all be. How you doing today, sir?
I'm okay, my brother. I'm all right. Okay, hanging in there.
Yeah, I just want to talk about like why are you the Bookman? Like what got you started on this path?
Well, you look behind me. That's what I do. I sell books. I love reading. And this is what I do. So in this community here, Queensbridge, home of Nas, home of Ron Artez, home of Mel. It's good. I have a connection, emotional and long-term connection to Queensbridge projects. And so, you know, if somebody happen to ever read a New York Times article called Major D of the Mind, September last year, talk about how reading is still fundamental. And it's still fundamental, my brother, still fundamental.
Yeah, I picked out the New York Times articles. Very well done. Gave you a lot of great coverage and exposure.
Thank you.
How did that happen?
Well, generally, this train station where I am right now is kind of like a nice little hub. You got about 5 or 6 buses come here. You got the F train comes here. You got 5 or 6 hotels in this area, and then of course you got the largest project in the country, Queensbridge here. And so a reporter just roaming around. He asked could he do a story on me, and so I said sure. And so that's how I came out. The reporter's named Kilgannon. Cool white boy, cool white guy. And so he did a story on me, and that's what happened. You know, I'm really not publicity seeker, but you know, things that comes naturally from the business, that's just how it is.
Why set up in Queensbridge?
As I said, I moved up here from Mississippi. I moved to Brooklyn, but it was just my mother and I in Brooklyn. So my aunt lived here.
Hi.
How you doing, honey? My aunt lived here. Can I walk while I talk?
Yeah.
My aunt lived here because it's raining a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt lived here in Queensbridge with my first cousins who were my age. Because it was just my mother and I in Brooklyn. And so I came here every weekend and stayed with my cousins. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got this connection with Queensbridge. So I've been coming back to New York City almost every year of my life, and so I love New York City, capital of the world. I love the diversity here. That's basically what it's about. Yeah, that's basically how I got here in Queensbridge. I love this community. Shout out for QB, matter of fact.
Are there any like libraries, anything like that, bookstores around here where you set up?
Yeah, there's a library about 4 or 5 blocks, 4 blocks, well, 2 or 3 blocks down, Queens Library System. And maybe a bookstore in the area, not right now. Right now, I'm the best thing going because I'm very good at what I do here. Like I said, I do books. Books are my mistress. You ever read the New York Times article? It's the first line in the article. Books are my mistress. That's me.
Definitely. And also, who been some of your clients like been servicing in this area?
Well, it's just everybody. You know, most of my it's kind of like evenly distributed. You know, like ethnicity. You know, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians. You know, I got all kind of customers. You know, from the trains, the buses, the tourists from the hotels, like yourself. You know, this is generally how it happens. You come to the hotel, you stop by, we keep a friendly atmosphere here. And then usually be this cool on this corner, but you know, it is now. So it's just a good, nice little corner to be, nice little hood to be. You see a lot of hellos, goodbye, good evenings, and all this kind of stuff. You get it here. So kind of everybody comes by, you know, on a business point of view. Everybody come by here is a potential customer. So eventually, I'm gonna ask them about something. They want to buy anything. So that's my clients are everybody.
You're also good at reading people, it seems. When I first came over, became a customer, you actually gave me a book that was connected to my hometown of Memphis.
Exactly.
You didn't know I was from Memphis, I don't think, but you gave me a book. The first book you gave me was a Memphis book about Memphis. Yeah.
Well, you know, you seem to be a person, a brother that to me was the books you were looking at the table. You seem to be like a culturally conscious person, and I'm really, and so basically I just showed you what I had. I didn't really have that many, let's say, African American cultural conscious books on the table at the time, so I really showed you what I had. It just happened that you happened to be from Memphis, and that was about the Memphis blues or something like that.
Yeah, it was like something about sightseeing locations in Memphis.
Yeah, definitely.
So also, like, what are your plans for the future? Like, what do you plan to do with your business?
Well, I intend to be honest with you, I'm really more. I call this rhetorically the last bookstore, because you know. There's a lot of people saying that books are going to be obsolete and all that, and I don't believe that. But I'm intending to be here till I die on this corner. But I intend to open up a first store hopefully next year. My daughter and I, we're discussing Amber Johnson, pharmacist, and Mad. We're discussing merging her business ideas with my business ideas together sometime next year. So I'm really looking forward to starting a nonprofit organization called The Last Bookstore Kids. And so that's really just what the future holds, but I'm going to always be on this corner. I'm going to die here, literally.
So this is the best place to catch you on this corner?
At all times, buddy. At all times, right? I practically live out here. Like I said, do what you love, and the money will follow. That's a book written by an author named, what was her name? I can't remember her name, but the title of the book is Do What You Love, the Money Will Follow. And so I'm not really concerned about the money. This is what I love. So you know how it is. You never work a day in your life. So this ain't work. This is fun.
Right. Who's been the most influential person you ever met, or most impressive person you ever met in your life?
I don't know if I ever met, because I'm really not impressed with people. Let's say personally, I'm not intimidated. I'm impressed by people I see alive. But when you're talking about reading, now I read many books that influenced me, and I love James Baldwin. James Baldwin, he's a writer. You know, he wrote books like Evidence of Things Not Seen, The Fire Next Time. I met him the year before he died at the University of Southern Mississippi down in Hattiesburg. And then just books. I read a 2-book biography of Paul Robeson. I didn't know how, let's say, a giant he was in civil rights and things like that in this country. So the books influenced me. So if you write a book and I read your book, hey, if you got something to say, that influenced me. But you and I just talk, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So I'm assuming that James Baldwin is your favorite author?
No, I have no favorite authors. He's just one of the ones that he's one of my favorite writers. I don't have a favorite, but he's one of my favorite writers. Got a lot of them. Just good books. Just good books, man. I have just good books. It's kind of like football team. I watch football, but I got no favorite team. So it's just I have no favorite.
So no favorite books either.
I got some books that was influential throughout my life, like I said, Baldwin's books, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Another book I just gave to a lady called I don't know. I just gave it to her last night, but anyway, it's about the power of love, that type of thing. But it's so many influential books. Of course, the Bible. To be honest with you, the Bible is a best-selling book ever, and I can read all the books in the world. And I'm not trying to do a little cliche, but I've found no book any better than that. To me, all good things come from that. So it's just this is on and on, man. I might read a good book out of. I read a book called about several days ago called "Sitting at the Master's Feet," which is an excellent little book. Take about 2 or 3 hours to read, but very powerful. So that's.
Do you have any words of advice or wisdom? You got a lot of sage wisdom, it seems like. You gave me great advice just being in the city, but you have any words of advice for our viewers?
Well, you know, it's what I was mentioning about do what you love, the money will follow. And a lot of people plan on, you know, doing things, but they let the fact they may not have money to go to school, they may not have money to start a business, and I think they're approaching it the wrong way with that. Just start doing what you love, and all that stuff kind of come to you. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, just get going, and you know, don't worry about the other stuff. That will all that stuff come to you, money and all that kind of thing, and it's not work. It's not work. I read this book by the guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think his name is Kiyosaki or some crap like that. But anyway, he wrote this other book called Before You Quit Your Job. And I always stress to people, look, always strive towards entrepreneurship, because you're not going to be happy working for anybody else generally. Sometimes people find jobs they like, but generally you got to go entrepreneurship. Anyway, this other book that how you doing, my brother? Kiyosaki wrote was Before You Quit Your Job. And he says, look, if you don't know how to run a business, if you can't run a business without money, keep your job. If you can't run a business without money, keep your job. He said, because the most important thing is finding the right people to work with you. The money will come. So it's that type of thing. I just stress people to strive towards entrepreneurship. You know, you got a full-time job, do what you love on the side until that overcomes your job. So that's basically what I got to say. But also the power of love. You know, I do two things. So, you know, a lot of people are religious and all that. I generally go from love the Lord, thy God, with all their heart and all their soul and all their mind, and love the neighbor as yourself. After that, I don't get past nothing else. I just do those two things, and whether you know you should eat pork, or whether you should go to church on Saturday and Sunday, or whether you should go to the moon. I don't get into all that, man. Love God, love my neighbor, all that other stuff. I let other people argue about. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to thank you once again, Brother Andrew, a.k.a. the Bookman of QB fame. In the words of Great Duke Ellington, we love you madly. Keep on producing and pushing, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. See you soon.
I know you're coming to see me, sir.
He's going to move here, y'all. He's going to move here. He loves nothing else. He's moving here.
So we out. Thank you, brother.